boy Jerry the Great. Welcome to the all new, the brand new, the first there is, the first one of it. There is none like it, man. Welcome to the first episode of Hope This Helps. I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited to be talking to, everyone who's tuning in about just some real life stuff. I do a show called The Dignified Delinquents every week. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Vasco. Those my peoples. But I wanted to give people a different look, a different, train inside the mind of their favorite play cousin, Jerry the Great, or Jerry Elfinel, or Jerry, or whoever you get. I don't know who you're gonna get. I can't be honest and say I know who I'm gonna be on this show. You know what I mean? I know I talked about before, like we all got all these different personas and you never know who shows up. But on this show, I wanted it to be a little bit different. That's why I named it I Hope This Helps, because I hope that my stories and my journeys and the things I've been through can probably resonate with some of you and maybe help those who may be in need of that help. And Hope This Helps is really my favorite. I like to end an email with the phrase "Hope This Helps," because Hope This Helps is like, I really didn't help you, but if you got anything from this, you welcome. So that like you ever send an email and it's like, they ask you a question, you like, shit, I really don't know, but try doing this. If that don't work, do this, and if that don't work, call James. I hope this helps. So that's what this podcast is for. It's for you to for you to get some gems. Maybe you learn something, maybe you don't, and I hope it helps. Ain't no guarantee. It ain't no guarantee that what I'm gonna say is gonna be beneficial, but I hope I can help somebody. So then this is just a journey into my mind, and we're gonna have some special guests joining us on this podcast. We're gonna have some people coming in sharing their stories and their journeys who can help me, help you, help everybody along the way. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Listen, if you're new to this YouTube page, you're watching it on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this show, The Dignified Delinquents, or anything else that's going to be on this channel. And if you're driving in your car listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or however you listen to your podcast, hit that follow button, hit that alert button, so whenever a new episode drops, you don't miss it. Because these just going to drop like, these going to drop like Beyonce albums. We don't know when. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know why, we don't know if it's really like, is it a whole album, is it a CD, is it a whole podcast, is it a sentence? So make sure that y'all hit that alert button, man, and make sure that y'all follow your boy, follow the gang, Vasco, Vanessa, Jerry the Great. This is just, from me to y'all. So I really wanted to take this time, this first episode, just to dig into, the journey that I've taken thus far, and maybe some of y'all are on that same journey, and maybe y'all are beyond this journey. And I'm 28 this year. I'm 28 September 21st, and in my 27, almost 28 years of living, I've had to teach myself. That it's okay to quit. I know that sound a little crazy. I know that sound a little bizarre, but rock with me, right? So when we were growing up, you always hear, you don't be a quitter. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. Always see it through. If you start something, you got to finish it. Right. And that is 100% correct. You know what I mean? Like if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're going to put your mind to something, put your mind to it. But I had to learn that it's okay to quit. And the thing is, the word quit has such a negative connotation to it that when people hear the word quit, it's like, you gonna quit? You just gonna quit? Yeah, nigga, I'm gonna quit. That's it. I'm done. Like, I'm not finna keep on doing this shit. Because I think about it like when it comes to work, right? I'm a millennial, and millennials, we get a bad rap when it comes to work. It's millennials. Oh, they don't want to work. They want to move right to the top. They don't stay at jobs long. That's why the thing is, our parents stayed at jobs 40 plus years, 20 years, 15 years. They would stay at a job no matter how toxic or how crazy that work environment was. They will sit at that job and they will go through hell every day at that job because they were just happy to have a job. I think that millennials, we cared more about our mental state. And it's kind of slowly, gradually happening in the world now, where we're doing a big push on mental health and mental wellness. But from an earlier stance, we cared about that. Like, you ain't gonna just talk to me crazy and expect just because you giving me a paycheck, I'm gonna sit here and deal with that shit. I learned that shit early on. I done had about 16, maybe 25, 27 jobs. I done quit about 16, 23 jobs. You know what I mean? I didn't, and for no reason, not for no reason. In like, you know, like I fucking, I'm out of here. But in the sense of, it wasn't the right environment. Now, granted, I'm talking about when I was a teenager. So I'm talking about working at McDonald's. And I was working at McDonald's and I'm like, listen, I know my value. Okay. I ain't finna just be back here on the grill. I need to be on the register. Y'all need to have me on the register. It wasn't necessarily in that aspect. It was more so, you put up with so much day to day, right? Like my niece, she's 16. And she tripped me out because she told me and my wife, she was like, I'm depressed. And we were, you know, I took it serious. Like, well, what the hell are you depressed about? But in the back of my mind, I was like, dog, I could never tell my parents I was depressed. Like, depressed, nigga? Like, these lights on, you got food, you got clothes, you well, like, what the hell you depressed about? But I realized, like, at that age, I had feelings too, and we had feelings too. And it was wrong at that time for us to feel our feelings. It was wrong at that time for us to, you know, not tolerate stuff because of what it is. So when I say quit, I'm not talking about quitting just because. I'm talking about quitting with some validity, right? If you're in a relationship and my sister's a marriage coach, she'll go against the grain with this or what I'm going to say. Cause she'll never tell a wife or a husband to leave a marriage or to leave a relationship. If you're, you know, dating, I would say evaluate that relationship. Look at the pros and the cons. If it's not beneficial for you, if it's hurting you, if it's draining you emotionally, physically, mentally, if it's not a good thing for you, they're taking yourself out of that situation is beneficial. Like, it's okay to quit. I think I had this first realization. I don't know if that's a word, but we gonna roll with it. I had this first realization. I had it when I was in high school, right? So I'm a nice size guy. I'm more nicer size now than I was, you know, 10 years ago. But I'm a nice size guy. So when I got to high school, it was expected, you know, like, you know, I was going to be a stellar football player. I was going to be, you know, the ball out athlete. And I was good. I'm not bragging or boasting on myself. I was pretty good. I was on varsity as a freshman. You know, I was in the rotation. You know, I was learning. I could have, you know, if I would have stayed with it, developed it, I could have probably made a career. Not a career. I could have went to school for free. I'll say that I could have went to school for free off of my football abilities. I believe so. But here's the thing. I quit football 10th grade, 11th grade. I quit football 10th grade, 11th grade. And people, when I quit football, people was like, what? Why you quit football? You supposed to be playing, da, 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 da. My brother told me, you soft if you don't play football. Real men play football, da, 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 all this and it was crazy. But the thing was, for me, the quitting had been coming for a long time. Like, I was just so trained that you can't quit. I was just conditioned that you can't quit something, no matter the toll it's taking on you emotionally, physically, mentally. You cannot quit it because quitters never win. You know what I mean? So for me, I started playing football in elementary school like most young boys. And I had, you know, we are a football family. My 3 older brothers, they went to school for football. They went to college for football. They played football. That was their journey. Me being the youngest of the family, it was always my aspiration to follow in their footsteps, right? You want to, you know, you look up to your big brothers. You want to do what they did, do how they do, wear their numbers, wear their gear, whatever. In middle school, my dad was my football coach. And I loved the sport in middle school. I loved the sport of football in middle school. In 2007, my daddy passed away. He had a stroke. In 2007, he passed away. So not only did I lose my father, I lost who was my football coach at the time as well. So when I got to high school, you got to think all of my brothers were in college. My mom wasn't really a football person. I'm the youngest of 7, so everybody else is out doing their own thing. I didn't have the support system to mentally say, hey, you got it, you can keep doing it, you can go. I was out of it. My mind wasn't in it. I was like, I could be doing so many other things besides risking my body, my life, my mental, my physical every day for something that's not pouring back into me. I'm pouring into it. I'm out here every day. Football practice starts at 1:30. I'm there 1:15, but it wasn't pouring into me. And not only was it pouring into me, we oftentimes need to, have that validation from other people. I wasn't getting that. And the coaches would give it to you. Your teammates would give it to you. But when you make a tackle and you look in the stands and nobody's there, you know what I mean? Like, man, fuck that shit. Fuck, we losing too. Shit, we getting our asses beat by Spruce Creek. Fuck this damn game. But the crazy part is, a year before I made the decision to leave the sport, right? The head football coach, he already saw it in me. He was older, he was wiser. His name was Coach Allen. He must have already saw it in me, because he was like, hey, Fennell, listen, I'm watching you every day. I just want to let you know that you are going to be great in so many other things. You don't need football to be your validation. You don't have to play football. You don't have to prove anything to your brothers, to your mom, to your sisters, to your dad. You don't have to. It took a year for that to sink into me, for me to finally say, you know what? I'm done with it. That's it. I'm done. And sometimes you have to leave things. So maybe we shouldn't call it quit. Maybe we shouldn't say quit. Maybe we should say, leave something that's not bettering you. If quit is such a negative word, and you hear quit as being such a negative word, and that's why you don't want to walk away from a situation that's draining you, that's whooping your ass, maybe don't call it quit. Maybe say leave it. Many of us done left some shit. You done left some stuff sitting around. You done left the game on. You done left it. So maybe use a different word if quit isn't gonna be the word for you. But that was the start for me of realizing, like, hey, dog, some of these things that you're in are involved in, like, you don't have to be a part in. I have friends. I quit friendships. I quit a friendship without a 2 weeks notice. Nigga, you notice Jerry ain't our friend no more. That's the notice. There ain't no 2 weeks notice. So I really wanted to just delve into that, because I look at, where I've come from, right? Because like I said, there's a difference between quitting and there's a difference between giving up. If you give up on stuff because it's too hard for you, and that's when you should not quit. If it's only because it's too hard for you, it's challenging you, you can't, you want to get over this hump, but it's too much, it's becoming too draining, and don't quit in that situation. But if it's mentally, physically not working out for the betterment, and if there's no getting over this hill for you, then that's okay to walk away from. That's perfectly fine. I take, for example, the show The Dignified Delinquents, right? So I started The Dignified Delinquents in 2017-ish with two other co-hosts, and we it was good, nowhere near what it's like now, but it was good. It was fun. We'll get together, we'll drink, and we'll talk about celebrity news and topics and whatever. Like we was having a good time. I walked away from that show like it was. I didn't quit it. I just had to take a break from that show because I knew that show had plateaued. It wasn't growing. It wasn't what I hoped it to be. Now is what I hoped what I envisioned back then is what we have now. But what I'm saying is I didn't quit. Sometimes you got to take a break from some situations. So I'm just trying to give you all the elements or ways to look at stuff. If it's beyond a break, if it's beyond repair, if it's beyond rebirth or rebranding or re-strategizing, then yeah, maybe look into the route of, leaving this thing and trying it over again. Because what we don't realize sometimes is that when we quit or give away things or stop doing things, it opens the opportunity for us to do so much more. And sometimes we be holding on to stuff that God be like I'm trying to get you to drop that. You keep holding on and I'm trying to get you to let that go. And we be holding on like, nah, no, this is it, Lord. This is it. This is gonna be the one, Lord. I know, I feel it. And it's like, that ain't it. Like that's not the one. You need to let that one go so I can bless you with what you really supposed to have. I can't put more blessings in your hands if your hands already full. So go ahead and put down what's already not working for you. You've been trying this relationship, and this relationship has been shit for 7 years. You know that this relationship ain't no good, but Lord, I'm praying for him. I'm praying for, Lord, it's going to work out. Get your ass 7 years. 7 is the number of completion. Get your ass up out that relationship, because you don't know what's beyond the gate. And oftentimes, and I'll say this too, and I think and this is fact, oftentimes we don't quit stuff or leave stuff because we're comfortable in it, right? Like take a job, for example. If you've been at a job for multiple years, you're so comfortable with that job, you know everybody's work habits, you know, boss gonna be on one today. Or I can tiptoe in here late like this. You don't leave it because of the comfortability. But on the opposite side of comfort, it's success, it's happiness, it's joy, it's bountiful on the opposite side of that. But sometimes we sit in it because it's comfortable. So don't sit in it because it's comfortable. Sometimes you got to shake some shit up and quit and start over. It's okay to start over. I've started over many other times. I'm recording this show, trying to do this episode. I started over many other times. Damn near quit, but I didn't. Because I know I wanted to get that message out there to y'all. And I ain't trying to be too preachy or anything like that. But just understand that it's okay to let go of certain stuff. Letting go of certain stuff opens you up to grasp, or whatever the word is. Y'all, what freaking delinquent. Grasp some more stuff that's coming your way, man. I told my sister the other day, I was like, listen, I used the analogy. I said, you got to clean off your stove. You know what I mean? We can't cook everything at one time. You gotta quit some of this food that you're trying to cook all at once, because you can't put most stuff on your stove if your stove is already filled. It's impossible. You know what I mean? But I say, let go of what's holding you back. So if it's a job that's holding you back, and you know that you have aspirations of doing one thing, quit that job. If it's a relationship that's holding you back, and you know that you're not happy, and you know that it's not working out, and you know that it's not growing, and you're getting older by the day, you 30 but you look 60 in these streets, get up out that situation. I've done it many other times, and I'm not ashamed of it. And I will do it again, and probably will do it again in the future. I think that we have to be comfortable with letting go of some of the things that are holding us back. We have to be comfortable of letting go of some of the things that's holding us back. Listen, I hope that y'all got something from this today. I told you I ain't gonna hold you too long, but what I want you to do is make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and make sure that you hit that follow button if you're listening in your car or whatever. And if you got anything from this, if you learned anything from this, or if you like, hey Jared, that was dope, but this is my perspective, or hey Jared, that was deep, but this is what I'm thinking, go ahead and leave a comment, man, whether it's on the podcast app or whether it's on YouTube. Leave a comment, because I mean, this is just me talking. This is what I do in the car when I'm going to work. These are just my thoughts behind the microphone. And I'm like, man, hopefully it might help somebody else. Who knows? I hope it helps. If it doesn't, it damn sure help me. If it don't help you, if anything, if it ain't helped you, it damn sure didn't help me. These thoughts have helped me. So my hope and my prayer is that, you grab something from this, and if it ain't this one, maybe it's the next one. It's your boy Jared the Great. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I hope this helped.